What up, y'all? How's it going? BenDeen here, and today I'm going to be eating one of my favorite Korean dishes of all time, Gamjatang. And if you don't know what that is, it's basically like pork spine soup or pork spine stew, something like that. And obviously, the main ingredient here is this pork spine. Looks like there's a couple good big pieces of this pork spine in here, and the meat is just so like fall off the bone, tender, juicy, and delicious. There's also a bunch of like perilla leaves. It often comes with noodles, like really like glass noodles, I think. And then there's potatoes in here. So if you know a little bit of Korean, then you might know that the word for potato is kamja, and which is part of the name of this dish. But I've heard that that is not where it got its name, and that's kind of like a misnomer or something. But there are potatoes in here, so it's kind of confusing. I'm not even sure actually, so don't listen to me. But yeah, just a bunch of stuff in this kind of like spicy soup broth type of thing, and it's just delicious. So enough jibber jabber, and I'm just about to get into this. I also have a soju because soju is I always love drinking soju when I eat kamjatang, and they also have side dishes, which honestly I probably don't even need these, and some rice. Let me just go in for a bite of this meat. Ordered this. I got this delivered from a place, just a random place that I saw on the app. Mm-hmm. All right. I'll mess with it. And it got good reviews. I've never ordered this before. I didn't know you could. But it came out to about $20 or so. All right. So look at this huge piece of like pork spine, and just like falling apart. So tender and flavorful. The broth itself. Oh, wow. That was a huge kick. The thing is, usually I'm not a huge soup fan, which a lot of you guys might know. But the broth is very salty, spicy, and it really just infuses the meat with a bunch of flavor. I'm not sure exactly how I can describe it further than that, but it is great. And if you can try this wherever you are, then go out and try it for sure. I kind of slept on it for a long time. And I don't know if you can see either. I got the smallest portion size that they had. They had a small, medium, and large. This is the small, easily enough for 2 people, maybe even more. Depends who the people are. There's no way I'll be able to eat all this soup. But yeah, this thing, like, I don't know if you can really tell on camera, but hold on, like, this thing is huge, huge. Sorry about that terrible impression. I haven't really had this too often, or that much. I've had it probably less than 10 times. Cheers, by the way. The first time was with my classmates and my teacher at the Korean language program. And we just went to a random restaurant in the area around the school. Let me try this potato. Perfect. Perfectly cooked. And it's like really flavorful too. So we went there for lunch one day. And it was good, like, don't get me wrong. But I just slept on it after that, after trying it for the first time. Sorry about that. It wasn't until my buddy Steve, there's a place around his house that's like a famous Gamjatang place. We went there. He took me there once, and it just blew my mind. And I've been a fan ever since. The thing about this, though, it's usually one of those foods that you kind of can cook at the table, you know? So at your table, you'll have like a burner, and they'll bring out this big like wok looking thing with this stuff, so it'll cook down. Like definitely some of this liquid will evaporate. And then honestly, one of the great things about this dish is after you're done eating most of it, you can ask them to, or usually at the place I usually go to, you can ask them to like fry up some 볶음밥 or fried rice, aka fried rice, and they fry it up with like the leftover, you know, vegetables that are in here and the leftover broth a little bit. So it's like 2 different meals in one. Unfortunately, I don't think I can do that right now, but you know. And that's one of those things too you might not know. Even if like you come to Korea and you try this out, I mean it's great, but for sure get that fried rice at the end. And it's pretty fun eating it too, like kind of difficult because there's like big pieces of spine, you know, and you have to kind of pick the meat off. I'm sure there's so much meat sitting at the bottom of this too. All right, I'm gonna go in for some hand action on this piece. Like all this meat in here. Can't really see it too well probably, but that's what we're searching for. Let me get a bag. This, for some reason though, this is one of those meals that I always associate with like, you know, drinking or hanging out with friends or whatever on a Friday night. I'm not sure if, I think when I had it with my classmates, we had it for lunch. I guess you can eat it any time of the day. But I guess one of my favorite parts about Korean food and Korean culture and Korean like eating culture is that, you know, people drink just while they eat, you know. It's like a experience more than just a meal. And there's some foods that are more typically eaten while drinking, like especially soju, like any kind of Korean barbecue, this kind of thing, even like Korean style Chinese food, or different stuff like that. Chicken, often associated with beer, but they always have soju at chicken places as well. So yeah. And there's some foods, like Korean foods, that aren't really associated with drinking as much. So, oh, this will warm you up though on a cold night. I'll tell you that much. It is it's getting pretty chilly outside, but I'm sweating. This ain't no joke. And I'm actually a little bit surprised at how good this is. And it came really fast too. And for not a bad price. One drawback, you might hear a lot of weird sounds that I know some of you guys probably don't like. I get comments like this every once in a while, like, man, BenDeen, I like your videos because, you know, you don't make a lot of slurping sounds, like, compared to other people. And then I'll get a comment on the same video that's like, man, why do you eat so loud? So, there's really no kind of happy medium. try out this kimchi. One thing they did give me is kim or seaweed, dried seaweed, which is actually really good. I'm sure you can get this at like different Asian supermarkets in America or wherever you live. It's kind of like that thin seaweed paper type of thing. I'm not sure exactly what you're supposed to do with this, but maybe some people eat it as a snack. Some people like roll rice in it and eat it like that. Oh, it's a good combo. Glad I tried that. Thinking about opening that window. Whew. It's a scorcher in here. Hopefully it's not too loud out there. It is Friday night here in Korea. Let me search for some meat. Here we go. This should be a good bite. Speaking of my classmates though, in the Korean language program, I've been out of that for a while. I never graduated, as some of you guys know. If you complete level 6, then you can graduate. Each level is like 3 months each. So a year and a half if you go all the way through to graduate. I finished level 5 and I never did level 6. So, you know, but there's no way that I would complete one more level and then be like fluent in Korean. Because it's like one of those things that you start off really, really fast and it kind of levels out. But and I have talked about like the Korean language school before in other videos. I made a video called How I Learned Korean or something like that. But I'm not sure if I ever talked about like more of like the personal side to the language school, or just more of the details. You know, I talked about in that video How I Learned Korean, I talked about how it was structured. Ooh, whoa. Hit the jackpot here. Oh my god. They give you a lot of meat in this. Oh man. The good thing about all this soup is that you'll find these little or big pieces of bone like that, or meat down below that you didn't know that were lurking there. But I never really talked about, maybe I did. I'm getting to the point in my videos where I know I'm just rambling on right now about pretty much everything and anything. So forgive me for that. I don't have any real structure for this video. But I'm getting to the point where I've made so many videos by now that when I'm filming, I'll start to say something and then think like, wait a second, did I already talk about that in another video? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I talked about that. Anyway. Man, they must like, I don't know how they make this meat so tender. It reminds me of like pulled pork, but that's like soaked in juices to make it super tender. Anyway, so where could I start? I got a lot of questions about like, oh, I'm interested in learning Korean too at a Korean language program, possibly. What school should I go to? You know, how did you apply? How did you get in? Stuff like that. I guess I could start from there. It's kind of a long story. I'll kind of shorten it up and say I knew somebody who was attending a language school here, and she kind of recommended it to me. Marion, shout out to Marion. She doesn't watch my videos, but she was like, yeah, you should go here. Out of all the places in Seoul, like most of the universities these days will have some kind of language program. And are a few famous ones that are known for different things. I honestly think there's like two big ones. The one I went to and Yonsei. I went to Sogang. And the one I went to is more focused on speaking, while Yonsei is more focused on grammar. So she was like, yeah, you should go to Sogang, the one that's focused on speaking, because, you know, that's what you want to get better at, right? And so that's how I decided on that. And the application process was really, honestly, quite easy, if I can remember right. I think what you need to have is a degree, like not a college degree, but like a high school diploma. I don't know why I said degree there. But I think that's all you really need. If you just go to the website, you can if you go to the website, you know, they'll walk you right through it. But that's what I signed up for. I found a place literally 3 minutes walk away from the school. I remember the first day of class. I came to Korea and then I had a month before I started school. So that first month was just a lot of hanging out with friends and partying. But I had my class was from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every weekday. So yeah, when that started, it was kind of a little bit of a shift. But I remember the first day, I was like, I'm very introverted, my personality. So doing those type of things is always, oh man, this is just like the gift that keeps on giving here. All girls. A little bit thrown off. Actually, I had one classmate that was a dude out of like maybe 12, 15 or something like that. And that's how it really usually almost always is. At least like 90% females. Usually. So I was like sitting in a room full of a bunch of, for the most part, all Asian girls from everywhere. Japan, Taiwan, Hong Kong. And I was like, man, what am I getting myself into? Like, how do I talk to people like in English? Like, do I kind of emphasize the American stereotype and just talk to everybody in English? I mean, I guess that's what everyone does anyway when you're traveling or whatever. Since it is like the international language, so. Oh man, Pagey is on the attack. Hey man. And it's very interesting, I found, how every level 1, level 2, level 3, all the way up to like level 6 or whatever, is different based on you know, how well people can speak in Korean. Because a lot of people don't speak English. My camera stopped recording because it has a time limit right when I took this awesome bite. So that's kind of sad, but yeah, like level 1, everyone is like groups with the people from their own country, or people that can speak their language. So yeah, level 1, definitely you would see people the English speakers, the Japanese girls, and honestly, that was kind of it. A lot of Japanese girls in these language programs. At first, you can't say anything besides like hello. Like a lot of people, I think that's honestly a misconception about people from Asian countries. A lot of times their English isn't good at all, or they're too shy or embarrassed to speak it. So at first, me too, like I was just, hanging out with the people that spoke English. But like halfway through, and I think that's how you get your really good friends from this kind of program. I mean, every situation would be different, honestly, but from what I've seen, from all the classmates that I've observed who moved through different levels, usually the people that became closest friends were the ones that originally spoke the same language. So, you know, the best friend I made from that program was Karen, who appeared in one of my videos. You can check out somewhere. But she speaks English really well, so. Pidgey. Hey, Pidgey. Come here. And that's another thing that I recently read on Reddit. Somebody posted a comment, said, "Hey, like, is it easy to make friends at these language schools, or, is there a certain language school that would be better for making friends and stuff like that?" It's really honestly just up to the person, which seems like an obvious answer, but and it's the more you do it, the more I did it, the more it felt just like any regular school out there, or it kind of felt like college. I mean, it was at a college, but it was kind of a separate program they had, but everyone was there because they wanted to be there. And so the learning environment was overall very good. When it comes to cliques, friends, there'd be people that would keep to themselves and not really say anything. There'd be people that were just always talking and always trying to talk to everybody and make new friends. And pretty much everything in between, Where's that potato at? Here we go. Alright, I'm gonna try something. Hey, Pidgey. I don't know if the soju's getting to me or what, but I'm trying something real crazy. Got some meat. Got some rice. You guys ever heard of this before? That's good. It's good though. They gave me so much of this, like, I think these are sesame leaves or perilla leaves, which are good, but this place, they give you a lot of those. And the thing about the language school as well is, you know, you'll meet people. Everyone is there for a different reason. Everyone is there for a different amount of time, with different goals and whatnot. So sometimes you'll meet somebody in, like, say level 2, and you become very close with them, but then you'll realize that they are only doing level 2 and then returning to their home country, and that's always kind of a bummer. For the most part, most people that I studied with didn't have plans to be here for longer than a year or two. There's a lot of people who just wanted to do one level. I saw that a lot. A lot of people who wanted to do, like, you know, 2 or 3 levels and then go back. It's a very bittersweet, I would say, because you want to meet people or make friends, especially when you start. Yeah. Ooh. But you're never sure how long they're gonna be there, and that's not just for the language program. That's just for living in another country in general. I'm searching for some good stuff. All right, here's a potato. I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna go here, because it seems like, for the most part, all that's left is just like broth and like this. Let me investigate. Alright, I'm coming to the conclusion that, like, look at the water level in this. If you take out all this, these greens, looking like some collard greens over here, I don't know if you can see how much that water level drops. It might not look like much to you, but this is all broth and these greens. And that's not really a meal anymore. So pretty soon here, I'm gonna have to cut this this video, cut it off. There's no more bones, I'll tell you that much. There's no more pieces of bone with the meat on it. So that's, if there's any more meat in here, it's gonna be like little stragglers like this guy. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but I don't think I'm gonna eat it. Anyway, cheers, guys. I think that's about all for this video. I'm not completely stuffed. I'm not that full, actually. I could eat a lot more, but right now I'm just ready for that fried rice. This is the time at the restaurant where I say, hey, give me that fried rice, and then I just start eating that fried rice, but unfortunately, not today. Maybe I'll look into a way I can do a public mukbang at one point. Don't hold me to it. Before I end this video, though, I want to give a special shout out to Yoonjae. Yoonjae. Korean name, I know that, but I'm not sure exactly. The romanization is always a little bit different on Korean names, so hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right. And yeah, I really appreciate you and all you guys for watching. Thank you for watching. Hope you liked it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Have a